Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm gonna go over another style for legacy format, the staples for Namekian decks. For this format, the cards you're gonna see generally in any Namekian deck, regardless of what they're wanting to do. So our first card that we're gonna go over is Namekian Dash from Score. This card came out of the Capsule Corp Power Pack. It's a very strong card. Okay, so Namekian Dash is a physical attack doing AT plus 5 stages. If you declare the Tokoiwaza, raise your main personality to its highest power stage, then shuffle the top 4 cards of your discard pile into your life deck, remove from game after you. So basically this means anytime that you declare a style or you have a mastery, you would be able to use this effect. So it's AT plus 5, pretty beefy physical. It also allows you to go to full. So if you're getting stage locked or you need stages for something, you'll definitely get them there. Also, you get to shuffle the top 4 cards of your discard pile back into your deck, which is something that Namekian loves to do. Namekian loves to cycle its cards in and out. So the next card that I'm going to go over is Namekian Side Attack. It's been a staple, I would say, since it came out in Cell Saga back in Score days. It's a physical attack for AT plus 2 life cards. If it hits, you draw the top card of your discard pile, and you also lower your opponent's anger 2 as a secondary, and then it's banished after use. So it's very good with what Namekian wants to do. Again, going with the theme of cycling its discard pile, cycling its hand, and just dealing with lots of hand advantage in general. This card definitely is a 3 of in any Namekian deck. Another great physical attack that I run 3 of in Namekian is Namekian Elbow Smash. It's a physical attack for AT plus 4 stages. If I am using a Namekian Mastery, I automatically get to go to full. So this really helps a lot with GT, especially since their attacks hit so hard. To constantly be able to raise yourself back to full is very helpful in this format. So this, again, automatically getting raised to full, AT plus 4, definitely is a 3 of any Namekian deck for this format. I would suggest highly, because of the fact that you constantly get to raise yourself back to full. Okay, the next card that I run a 3 of in Namekian is Namekian Elbow Drop. It's a physical attack for AT plus 4 stages. Hit, draw the bottom card of my discard pile, banish after use. So it again goes with the theme of Namekian constantly cycling its discard pile, constantly rejuvenating, shuffling its deck, putting stuff back into their hand, and just overall being a hand advantage type of deck, which in this format can be really strong because this allows Namekian to actually kind of go toe to toe with some of the other decks that constantly cycle their discard pile, like Red Rush. It gives it an opportunity to actually be on the same level, just not as high damage output as I would say Red Rush has. The card that I'm going to go over is Namekian Crushing Slam. I run this in every Namekian deck that I've ever built so far for this format. One, it has Endurance 2, which is good for this format because of the high damage output that a lot of attacks can do. So seeing that card 1 off my damage, that's 3 cards that's being covered on that alone. Next, it's a physical attack for AT plus 3 stages, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's a standard physical attack. And then the next part is the best part about it. You get to shuffle the top 2 cards of your discard pile back into your deck. So there could be a few things in there that you definitely don't want to get banished or removed by your opponent's card effects. You get them shuffled back into your deck, so now they're alive again. So it's an all-around versatile card. I, again, play it as a 3 of in any Namekian deck that I build for this format. Okay, so the next 2 cards are going to be pretty similar, but not exactly the same. So the first one we have is Namekian Backhand. It's a physical attack for 3 flat stages. Damage from this attack cannot be redirected or prevented. This attack stays in play to be used 2 more times this turn. Basically, it has remain 2. Okay, so what this card basically allows it to do is your opponent's going to take 3 stages regardless. Now, if you're playing against an ally deck, it's really strong because they can't redirect to their allies. They automatically have to take it to themselves. So if they're at 0, they're going to take 3 life cards, plus any other modifiers that you have. And again, all the damage is unpreventable unable to be redirected makes it a very, very strong card with Namekian and just in general in this format. So if you run this with a Namekian Cell deck or even a Namekian Gohan deck where you're running allies, especially with villains, you run this with Turles ally out and all the other Saiyan allies, you're gonna throw beefy damage with this particular card. And the fact that it's unpreventable and unable to be redirected is amazing. Hands down for this card. Hands down a 3 of in any Namekian deck. Okay, so here's the second card that is similar to Backhand but not as strong. It is Namekian Combo. Physical attack doing 3 power stages of damage. If you do declare Tokoiwaza, so if you have a Namekian Mastery, this attack stays in play to be used 2 more times, gains remain 2, banish after use. So it's not as strong as Backhand, whereas Backhand makes it so your opponent cannot redirect it to allies. They can't prevent the damage. However, this one can be prevented, but again, it's still action economy. It gives you 3 attacks on board for just using it. So you could bait them out to use some of their blocks to block this attack. I don't see why they would unless it's getting pretty high up there in damage, like if you have Turles and you're running a Namekian ally deck where you're beefing up the damage on this to like 6-7 plus damage. So again, it's not as strong as Backhand, but still it's action economy. It works really well. And this is the actually last physical attack that I'm going to go over for Namekian that I feel is a staple for this particular format. Okay, so now we're getting into the physical blocks, or the blocks in general, that Namekian's going to generally have in every Namekian deck for styled. First one I always choose is Namekian Ducking Technique. It's a stop physical. If you are using a Namekian Mastery, automatically go to full and place the bottom card of your discard pile at the bottom of your life deck. So rejuvenate the bottom card of your discard pile. So automatically gains you stages if you need it. Automatically rejuves the card. And it just, again, fits really well with what Namekian wants to do. Namekian wants to constantly rejuvenate, shuffle, cycle cards back into their deck or into their hand. So I feel it's an amazing card to have. Definitely a 3 of in all of my decks so far. Okay, the next block that I run with Namekian is Namekian Hybrid Defense. I think every Namekian deck should run this. I don't think I've ever seen a Namekian deck since this card has come out not run it. To stop physical attack or energy, so it's an Omni block. You choose X cards in your discard pile and rejuvenate them. X is your MP's level. So this works really well if you've been able to get off your level 1, or even on level 1, you're still choosing a card in your discard pile and rejuvenating it, any card that you want. And the fact is, it just, again, is an all-around versatile card. It's an Omni block, so the only thing that it's not going to block is a focus attack. It's good with rejuvenating. It's definitely something that most people are going to try and look out for when you're playing against Namekian, because they're always worried about hybrid defense, and it's just an all-around good card. Okay, so the last physical block that I run is Namekian Clamp. Stop a physical attack, shuffle into your life deck after use, and it has Endurance 3. So there's not really much to not like about this card. 1, it shuffles it back into your deck, makes it live. 2, if it's coming off for damage, it's coming off for 4 cards, 3 plus itself. So unless you're not able to prevent, I love seeing this card come off the top of my deck, just because I know it's preventing 4 cards from whatever the amount of damage I'm taking. So again, with GT being so high on damage, that helps out tremendously with the amount of endurance in Namekian decks. Okay, so now we're into the energy attacks that I run in every Namekian deck for this format. That's Namekian Handburst is the first one. Energy attack costing 3, can only be stopped by an energy combat card, does 5 life cards, and if it hits, you draw the bottom card of your life deck, and then it's banished after use. So it's really good with replacing itself, 1. 2, it's not as easy to block because it can only be stopped by an energy combat card, so it gets around a lot of blocks such as Time, or Epic Battle of Saiyans, or any Omni block that just stops physical or energy. It has to be an energy combat card. The only way that it would be blocked is if that Omni block was an energy combat card. So it's a very strong card. Again, the fact that it replaces itself is self-explanatory of why I run it as a 3 of in any Namekian deck. Okay, so continuing on with the energy attacks, the next one is Namekian Heat-Seeking Blast. It's an energy attack costing 4 stages. If it's stopped, your opponent has to destroy the top 4 cards of their deck, and then it's also banished after use. So this is very helpful in situations where your opponents put you under time, or you're under a stop all, where your energies aren't going to get through. Your opponent's still going to peel off the top 4 cards of their deck with no endurance. If the Dragon Balls, they're going to go to the bottom. Cool, but it's very helpful with getting in little poke damage here and there under a stop all that you normally wouldn't have been able to get through. So with the amount of endurance in GT, it's actually a very, very helpful card, being able to get 4 cards off the deck without having to worry about endurance. So again, that's why I run it as a 3 of in any Namekian deck that I run. Another energy attack that I run 3 of in my Namekian decks is Namekian Strike. It's an event that performs an energy attack costing 2 stages, doing 4 life cards. If I have a Namekian Mastery, which of course 90% of the time you're going to, search your life deck for a energy combat card and place it into your hand, banish after use. So you can go search your deck for a block if you need it that's an energy combat. You can go search for an attack, any energy combat that you want, you can go search for it in your life deck. So, and it doesn't even have to be styled. So if you have a stop all that's a non-style card or a freestyle card, you can go grab it with Namekian Strike and just put it in your hand. So it's a very versatile card, very helpful in situations. Of course, it can be sphered, but hey, if they want to sphere it, cool. All more power to them. I've probably got another event that I could probably use that would be better for them to use their sphere on than this card. Okay, the last and final card that I run 3 of in Namekian that I consider a staple is Namekian Buffer. It's a stop energy attack, endurance 3, and rejuvenate 3, banish after use. So again, goes with the theme of Namekian. Namekian loves to rejuvenate, shuffle its deck, cycle its discard pile into its hand, cycle discard pile back into the deck. Does everything, and also again it has beefy endurance. So I see this coming off the top of my deck. I know that that's peeling off 4 cards off the damage if I'm able to prevent. If not, it's still coming off as a 1. So it's a very strong card, and the fact that I get to rejuvenate the top 3 cards of my discard pile is tremendous. I mean, that's very strong even in this format for rejuvenation. So that's it, guys. That's what I have for you guys today for Namekian on their staples for this particular format. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. Also, remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you liked the video. And talk to you guys next time.